Okay, welcome back. We've got the market, which is down, 20 points, 17,554. Volatile, but not large moves at all. 20, 30 points up and 20, 30 points down. And we've already seen a bunch of those. Mitesh Thakkar is with us to run us through what he's making of things. Mitesh, are we going to see a decisive move today or going to remain like this? Your sense?
Prashant, my understanding is that we might actually have a subdued session. I think, we've talked about the fact that markets are possibly getting into consolidation. So idea is to buy on declines, but we might not see a big move today. Having said that, I think on the stock side, I have one buy and one sell call. Emphasis is seeing some kind of negative continuation. So that's a sell with a stop at 2280 for targets of around 2200. And Nippon Asset Management India, I think that's showing good traction. It just needs to clear the 200-day average, which is at about 318.7. So let's keep a trigger of 320, buy about 320 with a stop at 314 for targets of 335.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Mitesh, for that. Well, the Adani Group is, of course, in the news. It has indirectly acquired more than 29% in news broadcaster NDTV. The Adani Group's unit has also announced an open offer for an additional 26% stake at 294 rupees per share. This open offer will cost Adani 493 crore rupees. Yash is here with more details. Yash, can you take us through how the deal is structured and what's next?
Well, absolutely, Sonia. So let me first start by talking about the shareholding pattern of NDTV itself. Promoters Prannoy Roy and Radhika Roy, they hold a little over 32% in the company. Another promoter entity, that is RRPR, that held around 29% stake in NDTV. Now, it's this 29% stake which was owned by RRPR, which has been acquired by another entity called Vishwapradhan Commercial, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Adani Group. Now, interestingly, Adani Group announced the acquisition of Vishwapradhan Commercial itself minutes before they announced the acquisition of that 29% stake belonging to RRPR in NDTV. As far as the deal structure itself is concerned, Vishwapradhan Commercial, that entity has converted warrants issued by RRPR into the ownership, complete ownership of RRPR into NDTV, which is 29% stake. Now, because this stake now comes to Vishwapradhan, and Vishwapradhan is an entity of the Adani Group, that is an indirect holding of Adani Group in NDTV. What next? Of course, because it's triggered the 25% mark on shareholding and voting rights, the transaction has led to an open offer of additional 26% stake. Now, that will essentially be at a price of 294 rupees, which is a discount of about 25% to the price of NDTV shares as far as today's trading session is concerned. Importantly, 3 points. What lies ahead for Prannoy Roy, for Radhika Roy, which continues to be the promoting entity. Either if they feel that it's a hostile takeover, they can take a legal recourse against it. Second option could be that they could just tender in their shares as far as that open offer is concerned and exit NDTV. And the third one is they can choose to co-promote NDTV along with the Adani Group.
Okay, all right.
Yash, could you tell us who are the big shareholders of NDTV, and what's it looking like with regards to this open offer?
So, Prashant, we've got some interesting details in terms of the shareholders, the large shareholders of NDTV, and that itself tells a story. We are not suggesting that this is a sure thing to happen as far as the open offer is concerned, but it will certainly make the open offer process simpler if you go to read the shareholding. There are 3 sets of shareholders, and I will name them. One is Drolia Agencies, second one is GRD Securities, and the third one is Adesh Broking. Now, these 3 entities together hold about 5.8% stake when it comes to NDTV. What's interesting is that all these 3 entities or shareholders of NDTV have interlinked directors amongst themselves. So there are common directors between these 3 shareholders. What that sort of could indicate is that if one entity agrees to participate in the open offer, one can assume that the other 2 entities would also or could also be in favor of participating in that open offer. The second interesting bit is another shareholder called LTS Investments, which owns a sizable stake in NDTV. The stake quantum is 9.75%. Now, interestingly, LTS Investments, which is an FII, also holds a stake in various Adani Group companies. Case in point, it holds 1.69% stake in Adani Enterprise, about 1.09% in Adani Power, 1.63% in Adani Transmission, 1.27% in Adani Total. What that essentially does is, because it holds stake on both sides, it is a possibility that LTS Investments could also look at, participating in the open offer. Not suggesting that this is bound to happen, but this certainly gives a hint that it could make the whole open offer process a little simpler. And if these two sets of shareholders do participate in the open offer, then Adani's stake in NDTV could actually go all the way to 46% with these two sets of shareholders.
Okay, all right. So hostile takeover it is, perhaps.